You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
So we'll start in supported fish. I will give you the option of your supported fish, whether that be with blocks or with a bolster. You can choose the more comfortable option, of course, with the bolster. If you are using the bolster, you might want to just prop up the head and the neck just slightly, a little bit more with the block underneath the bolster or on top of the bolster. So if you're using blocks, one is on the highest level and one is on the medium level going down the center of the spine. And then just make your way comfortably into that supported fish, trying not to have any discomfort from any blocks that might be digging into the spine, but the center block runs down through the center spine between the shoulder blades. And your legs, you can choose what you like here. Maybe they're long along the mat. Maybe they're butterfly, soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Maybe they're constructive rest, which is feet out to the side and knees just gently drop in towards one another. So choosing the legs that feel the most comfortable. Arms are out to the side of you, just between the hips and the shoulder height. Palms are gently face up. And the fingertips just naturally kind of curl in towards the palm of the hand. And just notice here how that prop feels underneath you. Give into gravity here, really allowing the body to sink down onto the prop, mold itself around the edges. And find the breath here. Breathing expansively, front, back, and sides of the rib cage. So as we breathe in, we draw that breath from our feet up our spine towards our brain, towards the crown of the head. And then as we breathe out, we let that breath travel back down the spine towards the feet, relaxing as we go. So breath in fills, expansion, and breath out releases. Let's go. Only focusing on your breath here, nothing else. If thoughts pop in, just recognize those thoughts and just say to them, I'll come back to you later when I finish practicing. This time is for now. We're allowing our mind and body to become present with one another, to become a little bit more connected to each other. And for today, draw an intention in for your practice. Maybe that's an intention solely for the practice. Maybe it's an intention for the rest of the day. Maybe it's an intention that you repeat, a sankalpa. Draw that intention in as if it were true and real, as it already happened. Deepen the breath to bring movement back into the fingers, back into the wrists. If you took butterfly pose, use the hands to lift the thighs together. Place the soles of the feet down, hip width, toes pointing down towards the mat. Bring the elbows gently underneath the shoulders. Lift the head, look along the body. So you're going to press into the palms and the elbows there. Nice, looking along between the knees. And then just press up and roll over to one side. Take the blocks to the side of you or your bolster there. And gently roll back. Spread the shoulder blades out. So lift the spine, spread it out, and take all of the mat space that you have available to you. Take the feet nice and wide, take the arms nice and wide, and just feel that there's nothing underneath your back now. You can allow the back body to spread out. Hopefully the front body feels a little bit more open. Softening into the shoulders, into the chest. And then bring the feet together. Point the toes, lift the arms up as you breathe in. Reach the fingers back. Reach the toes down the mat. Big, big stretch as if you're awakening again for the start of your day. And then as you breathe out, the arms scoop around, the knees come in towards the chest. Take a nice lengthen of the spine here. Spread the pelvis out underneath you. Pull the tailbone down. Take notice if you have tensed up into the neck or the face. And just gently pulling those knees in towards the belly and the chest. And then from here, you can start movement. Introducing some circling of the knees, getting into the lower back, and then making sure that you circle the other way, maybe getting into the mid and the upper back a bit. And then gently opening the knees out to the sides. Take them as wide as is comfortable. And then circle them back, and the fingertips on top of the shins can guide these knees outwards. And just again, just feeling the mobility and the range of motion, the flexibility within the hip joint, and then circling back the other way. And this might feel a little bit more clunky on the internal rotations. I notice that one when I come on the inner rotations. So placing soles of the feet down, maybe the heels are a little bit closer towards the hips here. So nice bend into the knees. Hands come down by the side of the body, lengthen shoulders away from ears. Pelvic tilts, they don't have to be high, just nice, slow with the breath. Moving through the pelvis, the hips, the lower back, and just coming into the waists. So making sure that you do get that arching of the spine as well as you pull the tailbone back underneath you. So your flexion and extension of the spine, pressing down through hands, forearms, and feet. From here, we raise all the way up into our bridge pose, so pressing down through the feet, drive and lengthen the knees forward, lifting up the hip flexors, just staying there, keeping the head up towards the sky, nice long neck. We're not going to take the hands underneath the body for now, but push down through palms, push down through feet, lift the hips a little bit more. Hamstrings are starting to fire up. Glutes are probably more than likely fired up. Inner thighs are working. We are breathing. A little bit of activation there needed. And some strength. And then slowly roll down through the shoulders, through the upper, the middle back, keeping the belly scooped, pubic bone still as high as it can be, and then roll down lower back, pelvis, and the sacrum. Take the feet wide, drop the knees over to the right-hand side of the mat. Take the gaze to the left. You can move the arms out to shoulder height or cactus if you wish here. Try and just let those knees fall over with weight. Again, really nice deep exhale. Notice any tightness that you might feel in that back leg stretch. Bring the head, the knees back into the center. Realign if you need to. And then dropping knees over to left, head goes to the right. Breathe in, everything back into center. Let's do this 3 times with the breath. Exhale, knees right, head left. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees left, head right. Keep that going. Breath leads. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale, center, last time. Roll the knees over. Try and keep the feet as wide as your mat here. So we're simply rolling onto the inner and the outer edges of the feet. Bring it into center on the inhale. Maybe you need to realign the feet each time you rock over to different sides. Then we're going to stay on that left side and just keep the right knee a little bit where it is. Maybe you lift the left ankle and place that left ankle on top of your right knee. So there's a light flexion in that left foot to be able to kind of hook over that fleshy part of the outer thigh of the right knee. Gently pulling left knee down, and the weight of the left foot brings the right knee down. Holding for just a few more breaths. Breathe the head back into center. Release the left foot back to the mat. And then breathe in. Everything comes back into center. Realign if you need to. Knees go over to the right. Head goes left. And then again, picking up that right foot flexion into that right ankle. And it just rests on the top of that thigh, gently drawing that left knee downwards. So you'll notice with the added weight of that leg, you get a deeper stretch maybe through the spine, the rotation of the spine. You might feel the release through the hip flexor down into the quadriceps. And the opening of the hip on the right side. Nice and slowly bring the head back into center first of all. Release the foot. Let that foot go down. Let the knee drop a little bit more. And then breathe in. Bring everything back into the center of your mat. Take a moment. Just lengthen the spine. Draw the knees in. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. Relax into the glutes. And then release and roll over to one side and bring yourself up to a tabletop position. So finding your tabletop, pressing hands down through the mat, driving the knees and the shins into the floor, nice long spine. And find the breath here moving with those cat and cows. So we've already done our pelvic tilts, so this is just feels slightly different as we switch onto our knees. Think of that inhale moving from feet to head, and the exhale, head to feet. Good. Once you have completed your last cat, round this back into a wide leg child's pose. Take the knees wide of your mat. Big toes touch together. And before you get into that child's pose, just move and shift the rib cage left and right so you get the space between the hips to come down and lengthen the spine, dropping belly towards the floor, and then head to the mat or to a block. Hands can be out in front of you under the head. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, relax everything. Then just lift the gaze, walk the hands back towards the knees. Come into our tadpole pose, so our knees stay wide of our mat. We come up to a kneel where the spine is nice and long. And again, we just introduce those cat and cows. And again, different feelings, maybe from knee to quad to hip flexor. And then release into a little back bend. We're lifting the chest, lifting the gaze, dropping shoulders, pulling shoulder blades together. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding spine, rounding shoulders. So just noticing how those three different cat and cows or pelvic tilts vary. And then gently bringing the knees into parallel. You can use your blocks behind you if you like for the fingertips to be on, bringing the hands back by the toes. So fingertips are facing forward. We're going to roll those shoulders back, pull the shoulder blades in towards one another, keep the shoulders away from the ears, and start to gently lift the hips up towards the sky. And then bring the buttocks down again. Nice. So this is just a simple lift and a lower. Keep going, twice more, lift and lower and lift and lower. We're not going to stay there. We're going to come to that one later. So here, turn those knees out, hands come down. You can use the blocks underneath the hands if you like. We're going to tuck the toes, slightly different toe squat. So widening the knees out to the side, we're going to start to push the heels forward, and maybe again, hands are on, I say blocks, but I'm using this chimney. So the hands come to the knees, hands might leverage the knees out just slightly, long spine, shoulders stacking over the hips, find the balance. Ooh. As soon as I change my gaze. Good. So we're stretching out in the groin here. We've got a toe squat. And then hands come down to the floor and start to lift the hips. And as you lift the hips, the toes turn inwards and the heels turn outwards into your forward fold. So just space out the toes, space out the feet, rock left and right, rock forwards and backwards to just get into the toes and the ankles. And then come into your forward fold. From there, again, you can use a bolster or a block. Relaxing belly over the thighs, chest comes down towards the knees, take hold of the elbows. Give in to that real release in that fold, heaviness of the head, upper body, arms, shoulders. Sway left and right. Slow and steady breaths. Hands come down. We're going to take a squat from here. So it's just a bear squat. So knees track over the middle toe. We're not going into malasana. Dropping hips back, maybe reaching arms forward. Long spine, belly, chest down over thighs. Nice. Keep the belly, chest where it is. Lower the hands to the floor. Lift the hips into the fold. Good. Release buttocks, bend knees, lift the arms forward. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, reach the arms away. Exhale, fold. Nice. Walk the hands all the way forward. Find a high plank. You can lower the knees if you like. Move the feet accordingly. And just find that high plank position. Shoulders, hips, heels in alignment. Pushing back through the heels. We're going to lower the knees to the floor. Keep the toes tucked. Press back through the toe beds. Drop the chest and the chin to the floor. Pull the elbows in. Stay into that namaskar posture. Looking forward to the front of the mat. Now release everything all the way into prone and head to hands. Big toes touch. And just sway out through the hips. Release into the lower back. Release the belly. Placing the feet wide of your mat, all 10 toes touching the floor. Hands come to the top corners of your mat. Dancing seal. So we lift up only as high as is comfortable. Move the rib cage to the right. Move the rib cage to the center. Move to the rib cage to the left and center. So each time you come to the high point of the center, try and straighten up through the arms. You don't have to lock into the elbows. Try to keep all 10 toes, those little toes pulling down. The heels aren't rotating inwards. So the exhale is on your lower, the inhale as you lift into seal. Let's go the other way. Rotate. In reverse. Exhales on the lower, continuing to move from the waist to the rib cage. And then the last time we come up and we stay, realign, move the hands accordingly, nice straight arms, dropping pubic bone down, feeling the weight of the pelvis, all 10 toes touching. We're pulling down those little toes. Shoulders away from the ears. Chest open, face relaxed. Nice and slowly, bend the elbows, lower this down slowly. Rib cage comes down, big toes come in towards the center to touch. Heels fall out, and that opens up the back of the hips, back of the pelvis there, relaxes into the lower back. Give yourself a little hip shake, hip wiggle. And releasing right arm back, take hold of our right foot. Lift and lengthen the hip flexor, draw that thigh down and then pull that quad, pull the heel in towards the buttock to get that nice quad lengthening. So a little bit of an extension here if you want to add this on. Flip the grip of your hand on the inside ball of the foot. And then lift the heart, lift the thigh. So it's a half bow. Pressing foot into the hand, lifting chest. Other leg is active. We're pulling down left hip of the other leg and slowly release. Oh, that was a bit of effort. Come into the left side. So again, we take hold of the foot. We lengthen the quad away, pulling left hip flexor down. Find this posture first of all. About a minute hold. And then lifting the gaze if you wish to, pushing into that right forearm, changing the grip to the inside foot, and then press and lift. Find the breath. Other leg, all 5 toes pressing down, lengthening that extended leg. Nice. And lower. Oh, head comes to the hands as you sway out. Well done. So nice and slowly bring the hands underneath the shoulders here. Roll the shoulders back a few times. Oh, that feels nice too. Lift up into a nice low cobra. So we're pulling the elbows in towards the rib cage and back to the hips. Take the hands off. Find the balance, pressing down through the tops of the feet. Lift the chest. Lower the hands. Push back through your cobra to tabletop. Woo! I'm already getting warm. Find a gentle cat and cow. We've done a few back bends, so go easy as you move into the flexion. And then let's come into a downward facing dog from there, tucking the toes, lifting up the hips and pedaling out, getting into the toes, the ankles. Feeling the release through the back of the Achilles, back of the calves, back of the knees, hamstrings. Keep trying to press the chest back towards the thighs, lengthening the arms, strong, spaced out fingers and hands. When you're ready, exhaling, drawing both heels towards the back of the mat. They definitely do not have to go to the floor. Staying in a tabletop or child's pose if you need to. Lengthening up through the abdomen here, so drawing the navel in. And then looking forward towards the hands, walking the feet all the way to the front of your mat. Lengthen the spine there. Find a half lift. Maybe knees are bent or straight, keeping the weight over your over toes. And then as you bend into the knees and start to release, heel toe out to the wider edges of your mat. Toes are turning out. We're going to drop down gently into squat and then push up through the feet to stand. Drop down through squat. Push through the feet, lift to stand. Drop down through squat. Push through the feet to stand. Last time, drop down to squat, but this time we go into the right knee, dropping down, toe squat on your right side, opening up left hip. Come through center, turn that left knee out to open out through the right knee. Maybe the knee drops to the floor. It doesn't have to, of course. If it drops to the floor, you get a very, very, very deep toe squat. So just shifting, moving left and right. Last time. And we come back into the center, and we now find our Malasana squat. And that can be on a block if we need to. We are lengthening the spine, dropping sit bones down to the floor, maybe propping our heels up on a blanket or a wedge or blocks, using the elbows on the inside of the knees. Nice. Just a little bit of strength work coming up, strength and balance into our crow pose. So hands come down to the floor, shoulder width, spread the hands, look slightly forward of the fingertips and start to rock forward, lifting up the hips. Now, you can bring the feet in to parallel just behind the wrists if you like, if that's the way that you go into your crow pose. So if crow is in your practice, you might just make your way there or just listen to the cues, bringing the knees up into the upper arms, finding the balance, maybe lifting a toe or two, and finding a steady breath. Releasing back. Nice, good. And then exhaling fully into a forward fold from there. Release the body over. Good. So let's just walk back into plank. Let's find a connecting vinyasa. Breathe in and find a connecting vinyasa that works for you, chaturanga or up dog. Lower knees, chest and chin or cobra are your options. Push it back into downward facing dog. Exhale there. Lower the knees down. Keep in tabletop. Move the hands forward. Heart pose. Exhale. Inhale, forearm plank. Tucking the toes or knees down. Lower down hips. Find a Sphinx pose. Release and gently push back through cobra, tabletop, and child's pose. Bring the hands to the knees, roll up through the spine, take the hands to the base of the spine for baby camel. So lift through the lower back, open the chest, pull the elbows towards one another. Gaze might look forward or look to the sky. Try not to let the head drop back. Bring yourself center. Right hand comes down, left hand comes down, right foot comes forward. Find a nice winged dragon. You can use blocks underneath the hands, dropping hips, keeping the chest nice and lifted. Good. Pulling back into your half splits, slight variation here, a little bit of strength work needed. Dig that right heel in, press in through the left. We're going to release the hands back behind us, forward fold, fingertips are face down and the arms by the hips, so palms are face down. Good. Crown of the head reaches towards the front of your mat. Oh, that's nice. Good. And hands come back. Bend back into that nice low dragon and sweep that right leg back. Good. So we see where we're going in our half splits. So let's go through heart pose. Exhale. Inhale, forearm plank. Exhale, lower and inhale, Sphinx. Exhale, lower, hands come underneath the rib cage to push you back through cobra, back through tabletop, back through child's pose. Exhaling there. Rolling up through the spine. The hands come and slide up the knees, and then they come to the base of the spine. Roll the shoulders back and down. Pull the elbows in towards one another. Pull the shoulder blades in towards one another. Camel. Bring yourself center. Hands come down to the floor. Left leg comes through. Find that winged dragon. Keep the chest nice and lifted. Drop the shoulders. Drop the hips. From here, shift the hips back. Dig in that front heel. Again, knee tracking over your hip tracking over your knee. From here, find the balance. And then, oh, this is tricky this side for me. Left leg is probably, you know, stretching through that right hamstring. Try not to lock too much into the back of the left knee. So, oh, it's tricky this side. Palms are face down, fingertips reaching back. Oh, bring yourself center. Nice, good balances. Exhale into that dragon. Hands come down, and then you step that left leg back through tabletop, tucking the toes, and back into downward facing dog. Now, if you wish to, we're going to just work on a few drills to bring our knee through and placing the foot between the hands. So if you want, you can place blocks underneath the hands. This really helps to lift the upper body up. So we're going to lift up our right leg up and back behind us. I'm going to come forward a little bit. Right leg into three-legged dog. And then bring the knee all the way through. Hug it in tight. Round the spine, come up onto the tiptoes of your left foot. Now unfold from the knee, try not to let the shin drop, and then place the foot between the hands. Drop down to a low lunge, release the back knee. Nice. Stand up in that low lunge, reaching the arms up. So we're nice and high here, and we're going to drive forwards and back. So drive hips forward. Pull hips back. As you pull the hips back, notice what the pelvis does. Is the pelvis tilting forward and back? Okay. So drive hips forward. Be aware of your pelvis and back. Maybe straightening up that front leg. Good. Drive hips forward. And back, maybe straightening through that front leg. Foot can stay flat, or you can dig the heel in. Last time, drop it in. And then this time, pull it back. Straighten the leg if it feels good. Hands come down. We're going to fold over that thigh. Again, toes can be planted on the floor. That's going to extend your ankle stretch, or you can dig the heel in slightly. Slight variation of a half splits. From here, hands come on the inside, and we sweep that right leg back as we tuck the left toe, lifting it all the way back up into three-legged dog. Good. And then lower it down to down dog. Exhaling there. Left side coming in hot, lifting up, left leg, three-legged dog. Come high on the right toes. Bring the left knee all the way in, round the spine. And try to unfold from the knee. Try not to let the shin drop. Place the foot between the hands. Drop the back knee. Come up high. Good, nice and tall. Notice pelvic tilt. Give yourself a little tilt there. Good, we've done a lot of tilts. Drive the hips forward to the front heel. And pull it back. Maybe straightening through the front leg. Dropping forward. Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. And pull it back. Navel is tucking back to spine. Third time. And pull it back. And then again, we keep that leg straight, folding and hinging from the hips. Hands come down to the blocks or to the mat. Folding over that left thigh. Good. Foot can be pointed, or you can have that light flexion. You're going to get an ankle stretch if the foot's pointed. Hands come on the inside. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, sweep that left leg all the way back around. Readjust, three-legged dog. And then left leg comes down. Down dog. Ooh, take a moment to breathe. Lifting up right leg this time. Again, we find that step through. Come high on the tiptoes. Round the spine. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Place the right foot between the hands. This time, a high lunge. Woo! Getting the legs, the quads working. Good. Coming a little bit forward. So we're dropping down into our high lunge. Again, be aware. Look at the pelvic tilt that I've done there, exaggerated, or drop it forward. It's not kind of an anterior tilt. Oh, a posterior tilt, sorry. Okay, this time we lower the back knee, tap it, push up. Lower the back knee, tap it. Lower the back knee, tap it. Straight front leg. Folding from the hips, hands come forward. Again, blocks might come in handy. We're going to come into a high pyramid, or you can plant the back foot and come into a pyramid. So high pyramid on the tips of the toes, releasing the heel back. Starting to pull, left hip round. This is where we're going to come into a revolve. So if the revolve feels a little bit better when the heel's down, do that. Hand comes to the floor or to a block. Right hand comes to the sacrum. Find the revolved triangle. So either on the tiptoes, reaching that left heel back, or grounding through the foot. Good. Rotate through the waist, the rib cage. Nice. And then hand comes down. We bend into that knee and plant the palms back into downward facing dog. If you want to, you can add a connecting vinyasa. Your choice, or you just take a rest in down dog, tabletop, or child's pose. Left side, crescent lunge coming up. Lifting up left leg, three-legged dog. Come high on the tips of the toes of the right foot. Bring the knee all the way through to the chest. Keep it high. Try not to let the shin and the foot drop. And then unfold. Place the foot between the hands. Come up into high crescent lunge. Again, drawing navel in, finding the position. Dropping knee down. And press up. Drop knee down. Press up. This is your strength work. Drop knee down, press up. Straighten the front leg if it feels good to do so. Try not to lock out the back of the knee. Oh, this side feels tighter. Pulling right hip gently forward, exhaling over that left thigh. Releasing the right foot all the way to the floor, or just keeping on the toes, releasing the right heel. Coming into the revolve from there, hand to block or floor. Left hand comes to the sacrum. Rotate, waist, rib cage, chest. Releasing the arm to the sky. And breathing. Hand comes down. And we send this one back into down dog, tabletop, child's pose, connecting vinyasas if you wish. And all back into downward facing dog. And we'll all meet in child's pose. Maybe the head rests on the hands. Maybe the hands are behind the hips. Maybe the knees are wide. Find the steadiness of the breath. Certainly when we start to heat up the movements, the heart rate increases. That's all the standing work done. So we try to focus on really the pelvic tilts, the hamstring, the quads, the hip flexors. Let's roll up to kneeling. I'm just going to come into the center of my mat just a little bit, but that's only because I've got my beam behind me. So a little bit more work into the quads here. So come up to a high kneel, zombie lean backs. Go easy here. Arms come out in front of you, all 10 toes touching the mat. Lean it back. Keep the shoulders, hips, knees nice aligned. Good. Bring it forward. Twice more. Lean it back. Oh, very good. Nice. Much better than me. Last one. Lean it back. Stay and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull it up. Oh, I know. Hands come behind you. Find the blocks or your heels. We're going into camel. So again, you can tuck the toes. The hands can come to the heels in your camel. We're going to roll those shoulders open. Find a camel that works for you. We're going to lengthen from the knee up the thighs to the quads, stretching into the hip flexors and the abdominals. 5 breaths. Find the breath steady. Come out. Drop down to low kneel. Take a moment just to feel the spine straight and long. Come back up to the high kneel, again, using your blocks if you need to. Right hand goes to the block or to the heel. We lift up left arm. Side stretch here. Reach the arm back behind you. Palm is facing down, fingertips reaching back. Nice. Bring back up into center. Left arm sweeps to the left heel. Reach back right arm. Bring back into center, lower down to kneel, and swing the legs out in front of you. Well done. So taking a moment just to sit nice and tall. And you can have the hands behind you if you wish, or arms out in front. Opening out those knees. Windscreen wiping. You know how I like to do things in 3s. So on the 3rd one, I'm going to come into our deer pose. So just moving accordingly and just dropping over that right thigh. Starting to turn the chest parallel to the thigh, dropping down through the left shoulder. Oh, so if you've got the left leg in front, it's okay, you're dropping down through the right shoulder. But we're dropping down the opposite side. That's going to target into the underneath hip and glute. From here, we stay nice and low to the ground. We're going to bring our right arm back behind us, somewhere off the mat. Okay, that's it. And then the left arm sweeps around. So it's the other arm for you there. Yeah, that's it. And then open the chest up. Good. So we've got that quad stretch going on, hip flexor. Nice. Oh, that's a beautiful stretch, that is. And bring it back. And we scoop all the way back around into the twist. So moving towards the back thigh, holding on to the back shin, twisting the chest towards the back foot. And bring yourself center. And change sides. I'm going to come so I can still see you this side. So opposite leg in front, start to twist and turn the torso. Chest, belly comes down over the thighs. We're dropping the opposite shoulder down. Exhaling, releasing into any tightness in the glutes. So you see where our focus has been is from the knee up to, I'd say, the shoulder, or probably the chest, really, through practice. Done some upper body back bends, strength work. Stay nice and low. We scoop around to the back. Our hand is about a 45-degree angle. And then the other arm releases, spins us around, and we open up the chest to the sky. That's it. Lovely. Good. Open up that shoulder, arm. Keep pressing down through that left or right, depending on which arm you've got there. Bring it all the way back. Fingertips trail the floor, and you come all the way back into that rotation towards the back knee and thigh, opening out through the twist. I have to say, I'm a lover of that kind of, I don't know, kneeling wild thing maybe, or a seated wild thing. And we bring it back into center. We release that back leg, and we're going to come down to the mat. So have a block or a bolster handy. Roll down very, very slowly, keeping the navel pulling in towards the spine. Try not to miss any of those sections out as you roll. It gets to a point for me where I'm like, I can collapse, but I'm going to try not to. It's about there where my back doesn't really move. Roll all the way back, lift the arms up above the head. Big, 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 big stretch. Stretch the arms away, stretch the legs away. And then exhale, scoop everything back in. Draw the knees in towards the chest, lengthen spine. Feel the pelvis spreading out, feel the tailbone lengthening down towards the end of the floor, end of the mat. Roll and massage out one way and the other. So now we can see, all the work that we've just done between being here at the beginning and now towards the end. Open the knees, fingers on top of the shins, open up into the hips and into the inner groins. So first one we go to is our happy baby. So dropping the knees wide and then taking feet, ankles, calves or thighs. Pull the thighs wide of the waists and the rib cage. And pull the knees towards the floor as you lengthen tailbone down. Slowly release the heels to the buttocks. Let go of the feet. Take the feet wide of your mat. Toes turn in. Heels out, slightly pigeon-toed. Let the knees rest in towards one another and relax all muscle engagement. Let go of any gripping, any contraction, particularly in the glutes and the hamstrings. Heel toe back into parallel. Grab your block or your bolster, having it either the block on the lowest or the medium level. We're going to place that under our sacrum for supported bridge, moving into pontoon. So find your bridge position first of all. Spread the shoulder blades, lengthen the neck, keep the face up towards the sky. And maybe the arms are in cactus, maybe they're by the side of the body. We find our supported bridge first of all by dropping the weight across the hips and pelvis, relaxing the buttocks. Keeping the left foot on the floor, we're going to bring the right knee in towards the chest. If you're on a block, go easy here because you don't really want any of the corners to dig in, but we're drawing that right knee in towards the chest. And then maybe you extend the left leg. So making sure that the center part of our torso is comfortable over that block. Bring the left leg back, place the foot down, extend that right leg up towards the sky now. And then from here, we lower that right leg all the way down to the floor, keeping the left leg bent. So slow, 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 lower down. Heel touches the floor, give it in, relax it. So you'll notice that when the knee is in towards the chest, there's less pressure in the lower back than there is now in that right leg, but we're also stretching out the quad, stretching out hip flexor and the psoas. And then we bring the right knee and place it down. Realign if you need to. This time, lift the left knee, draw it in towards the chest. And then extend the right leg if you want to. You can stay where it is. Keep pulling knee in towards the chest. So this is very similar to what we did in our step throughs from our three-legged dog into our lunges. And then we bring the right leg back, placing it down on the floor. We extend the left up towards the sky. Heel is above the hip. Bend into the knee if you've got tight hamstrings. And then with control, we're going to lengthen the toes away as if somebody is pulling our leg from our body, lengthening from the hip flexor, slow, lower, all the way to the floor, either bent or straight. And when the heel gets there, gently drop in the weight from the hips and pelvis. And then if you like, you can bring that left leg back, or you can extend the right to join it for a both leg stretch into pontoon. If the arms are still above the head, you might want to bring those back by the hips. Only stay in pontoon for as long as is comfortable, maybe 5 to 10 breaths. When you're ready to come out, bring the right leg back, place it down, bring the left leg back, place it down. Find that supported bridge position first. Bring the hands back by the hips if they weren't already there. Spread the shoulder blades, lengthen the neck, bring the heels in a little closer to press up and take your prop away. Keep in that bridge position for a moment. Lift up the hips, glutes, hamstrings. Hopefully this bridge pose is a little bit easier than the first one at the beginning of the practice. And from here, we spread those shoulder blades out to slowly roll the upper body and the upper back down, scooping up through the belly, rounding out through the lower back. And then the middle back starts to come down. We're still rolling. And then slowly lower back. And the sacrum comes down. Or it flattens out. And then take the legs long. Take a moment to rest. Give the hips a little shake. Massage into the glutes. And then draw the knees gently in towards you now. Keep a little space between the belly and the thighs here. So you can rock and roll gently from side to side. And let's move into our final relaxation in Shavasana. So taking the legs long or placing them in butterfly or placing them in constructive rest, using bolsters, eye pillows, making sure that you're warm. And your feet and your hands aren't touching anything either side of you apart from the floor. Lift up the spine, spread out the shoulder blades apart from one another, relax the shoulders from the ears, soften through the throat, relax into the jaw and the teeth, soften the facial expression, the area around the eyes, the area around the temples and the forehead. Softens. I'm going to leave you with some precious moments of silence. I'll let you know when it's time to come back around. Beginning to take some deeper breaths as you bring your awareness back into your surroundings, back onto the mat and back into the body by wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, moving wrists, moving ankles, and just taking your time to stretch, draw knees in, roll, massage out for the last time this morning, before returning up to a comfortable seat, sitting nice and tall, and hands come into Anjali Mudra. And just check in with yourself today, mind, body, breath, focus, energy, physically, mentally, emotionally, and soulfully. The connection of yoga unionizes, harmonizes, and return back to your own personal intention, one of which may have just been for the practice today, one of which may be repeated, or one which you can take into the rest of your day ahead. And always thank yourself for your body, your breath, and everything it gives to you each and every day. And I thank you all so much. Namaste.